back to the daily grind, and y'all know we gotta talk about this. But before we do, make sure you hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting B-word, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
Do you realize that it's UFC 222 next weekend, and then the pay-per-view after that is UFC 223, Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Tony Ferguson, and Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus Rose Namajunas 2? Hashtag and new. I said UFC 220 was hashtag and still. Well, unfortunately for the champions, I believe UFC 223 will be hashtag and new. But with that being said, I am already starting to get excited about Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Tony Ferguson, and that is in part because Khabib just came out and said he wants to fight Tony Ferguson to the death. When he's in that octagon, that's what his mindset's gonna be. I've got nothing else to give. This is my time. It's now or never, and only one man's walking out of this octagon alive. Not just with the belt, not just with the win, alive. That's Khabib Nurmagomedov's mindset. At the end of the video, I have a little audio clip for you guys to listen to, and supposedly in that audio, it's Tony Ferguson calling Khabib Nurmagomedov at like 2:30 in the morning just to let him know he's fat. That's mental warfare, bro. We know Khabib Nurmagomedov's weight cuts aren't the easiest weight cuts in the world. Now, he said it's more, whenever he has problems with weight, it's more because of his injuries more so than the weight. But that doesn't stop Tony Ferguson from calling him fat at every corner, making tiramisu jokes, telling Khabib he lost to Gleison Tibau. Tony Ferguson, even though it might sound cringy when it's coming out, he's, fighters, there's a mental warfare aspect in the mixed martial arts. You get, and I think that's probably what Tony Ferguson's getting into. Now, also at the same time, when this was coming from a Reddit thread, also another website. It's not MMA fighting, so I don't have the fucking call log that says, yo, this phone call was at 2:30 in the morning. But that's that's what they're saying as far as the promotion for UFC 223. Now, with that being said, Khabib Nurmagomedov has responded himself. He wasn't essentially responding to that phone call. I think that the phone call happened about a month ago, but it's just funny, because when you listen, Tony's like, I got some sharp-ass elbows, dude. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's only about a minute long. But with that being said, let's get into what Khabib Nurmagomedov has recently said about fighting to the death. He said, for me, it's interesting. In a fight with him, I will go out to death. I have no other choice. This fight will show which of us is the best. Khabib continued, of course, there is no underestimation, but when I grab him, his thin model waist, and he can hardly do anything. Many say that he's good, at the stance, and he has dangerous elbows and so on. He's talking about people say, and Khabib himself said he's going to welcome Khabib's takedowns, unlike any of Khabib's other opponents. He plans on attacking Khabib when he takes him down, with sharp elbows from the bottom, or submissions, triangle chokes, fucking arm bars, and Tony Ferguson is the guy that can do that. He's got the sharp elbows and the jiu-jitsu skills, that you would think it takes to beat a dominant wrestler. Because the only other way you're going to beat a dominant wrestler like that is avoiding the takedown. And there's not many guys that can avoid the takedown once Khabib Nurmagomedov gets a hold of you. So that's why this fight's going to be so good. No one knows what's going to happen. It's starting to look like it's Khabib time, hashtag and new. And also, there's not too many people. Actually, nobody talk about Tony time. Yo, that was so fucking hilarious when they were at that press conference. Like, it's Tony time. Nobody talk about Tony time. Everybody knows it's hashtag Khabib champ, Khabib time, but nobody really talk about Tony time. But with that being said, Tony Ferguson is just underrated, and it's been that way for a while. He's on a 10 or 11 fight win streak, and he didn't get here by being a world beater and having the fans on his side. He got here by winning fight after fight after fight. He might have been in trouble in the fight, but he always finds a way to get the W. Versus, Lando Venata, versus Kevin Lee. Yeah, he was in trouble, but guess who got that fucking W? Tony Ferguson versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. Tony Ferguson's very likely to be in trouble, but guess who can walk out of there with that W? Khabib. No, Tony Ferguson can always walk out with the W, and if he does, man, that's gonna be fuck. This is starting to remind me of like Ronda Rousey versus Amanda Nunes. Like, it's like Khabib seems like such a bigger star. I don't even know if it's because of promotion-wise, but it's like if Tony beats Khabib, I don't feel like he's going to get his credit from the rest of the world. I don't know why. I'm sure everyone, hardcore mixed martial arts fan respect Tony Ferguson, but still, when it comes to Khabib Nurmagomedov and Conor McGregor, Tony Ferguson isn't in that same echelon when you think of like as big stars. You know, as a fighter, for sure. But I don't know, it's like the star power doesn't really rub off onto Tony Ferguson. Like, you know, when Ronda Rousey fought Amanda Nunes, a lot of people expected Amanda Nunes to become that superstar. Not necessarily the case. And I'm curious, if Tony beats Khabib, will he be the champion? Will he become a bigger star? Who knows, man? And I don't even think he really cares. But what I do think happens, win or lose, if Tony Ferguson wins or loses to Khabib, I think he fights Eddie Alvarez next, and that's a fight that's going to help continue to build his stardom and sure to be an entertaining fight. So, I mean, we'll talk about that after UFC 223. But with that being said, man, it is what it is. Khabib wants to fight Tony Ferguson to the death. And with that being said, also make sure I'm going to let you guys listen now to what is Tony Ferguson allegedly calling Khabib Nurmagomedov at like 1 in the morning, you know, just to tell him he's fat. So check this out.
7 times you have 7 times knockdown. You go down 7 times. You go down.
Hey, dude, you try to take me down, you're gonna find out exactly how sharp my elbows are.
Okay, we'll see what happens. Match 4. We have 1 week. 1 week. After 1 week, everybody see who is who.
Yeah, after 1 week, you're not gonna have your team to back you up. Nobody else is gonna be inside that octagon with you.
Inside the cage, I'm gonna block you.
You ain't gonna break shit. The only thing you're gonna break is your heart after I kick your ass.
Down. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, just try to make weight, dude.
I make weight. My weight is great. My weight is great. Don't worry about me. Shut up and train me.
Nah, dude, my training's good, man. You have no idea how hard I train. I'm on a whole new level other than you, man.
Training. Why you talk about my training? Why you talk about my weight? Why you talk about my condition?
Because you're fat, dude. You're fat. You'll never make weight and your conditioning sucks.
Okay, see you Friday. See you. I show you my weight.
And as always, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell right next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking DOG.